Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Rhea Ripley has responded to claims on social media suggesting that Triple H was to be blamed for his booking of the Eradicator while she was championed last year. Speaking to Chris Van Vliet on Insight, the former Women's World Champion recalled her WrestleMania XL match against Becky Lynch. The Eradicator had high hopes for her title defense last year, as she didn't compete frequently while being the champion. This prompted a large portion of fans on social media to blame Triple H for his booking of Ripley while she was the champion. However, Ripley cleared the air on X Twitter, stating that he wasn't to be blamed for it. Check out Ripley's reaction below. Rhea Ripley faced Io Sky and Bianca Belair in a triple threat match at WrestleMania 41. However, there were chances of her potentially missing the show. During the same interview with Chris Van Vliet on Insight, Mommy said, Rhea Ripley will face Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight at the Night of Champions premium live event this weekend in Saudi Arabia. Rhea Ripley has broken her silence in a bold way, sending a powerful message directly to WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H after recent criticisms emerged regarding how the Eradicator has been booked since her injury and Queen of the Ring withdrawal. The WWE Universe has been buzzing for weeks about Ripley's absence and the direction the women's division has taken in her absence, now with fans and insiders alike calling out creative decisions around her title reign and eventual sidelining. Ripley appears to have had enough and is stepping back into the spotlight with intent. While Rhea Ripley has remained off WWE television due to her injury, she has not stayed silent. Social media has become her battleground, and she recently took to X, formerly Twitter, to react after a respected wrestling journalist publicly questioned Triple H's creative handling of her momentum. In the tweet that sparked massive fan reaction, the journalist claimed that WWE had fumbled the bag with Ripley by letting her disappear from the Queen of the Ring tournament without a definitive angle or follow-up. The post also highlighted how Liv Morgan's rise felt rushed and lacked the emotional payoff fans wanted, especially with Ripley holding the championship for over a year prior. In response, Ripley simply posted a GIF of herself smirking with a caption that read, "Timing is everything." It was a subtle yet piercing message, one that seemed to carry dual meanings. On one hand, it felt like a quiet nod that Ripley is watching everything unfold and isn't impressed. On the other, it may have been her way of telling Triple H and the fans that her moment of return will be unforgettable and that WWE Creative might already have something massive planned for her comeback. However, this hasn't stopped fans from continuing the discussion about whether WWE dropped the ball by not building a more cohesive story during her absence. Triple H, who has been praised for revitalizing both the men's and women's divisions since taking over creative duties, is now facing a rare wave of criticism when it comes to Ripley's situation. Many believe that Ripley's dominant run, her alliance with Judgment Day, and her cross-brand presence made her one of the most must-watch WWE superstars in recent years. Her loss of visibility during a time when the women's division is struggling with consistency in storytelling has not gone unnoticed. Fans were hoping for a big storyline involving Ripley's injury or a strong succession arc, where someone like Morgan would benefit from defeating her cleanly. Instead, her title was vacated, and the Queen of the Ring tournament progressed without her, or much explanation about her status beyond the brief injury update. The bigger issue lies in the perception that Ripley's absence created a void that WWE has failed to fill convincingly. While Liv Morgan has certainly stepped up and found new momentum as Women's World Champion, some critics argue that the transition lacked emotional depth and that WWE missed a chance to weave a longer narrative, especially considering how personal the feud between Liv and Rhea had been prior to her injury. Some even feel that Triple H has overcorrected in recent weeks by pushing new stars at the cost of those who laid the foundation. With Ripley at the top of that list, this isn't the first time that Triple H has been called out for booking choices related to Ripley. Even before her injury, there were mixed opinions on how frequently she defended her title and whether her feud with Nia Jax delivered the impact WWE had intended. Despite being one of the most dominant champions in recent history, Ripley's run was often criticized for its lack of strong, sustained rivalries outside of Judgment Day-related angles. Some argue that her star power was being diluted by overexposure alongside the faction, while others felt she was underused in singles competition. In fact, an anonymous former WWE writer spoke recently on a podcast and suggested that creative was handcuffed when it came to Ripley because her aura had become too big. According to the source, there was a fear that if Rhea dominated too much, no one else would look credible in the division. But at the same time, you can't just remove her without replacing that energy, and right now, WWE hasn't filled that gap. Rhea Ripley's message to Triple H, brief as it may seem, is already being dissected by fans and pundits as a potential warning shot. The timing is especially interesting as WWE gears up for SummerSlam and the buzz around Ripley's return continues to grow. There are whispers that she could be ready to return as early as mid-July, with several backstage sources indicating that creative plans are being drawn up to reintroduce her in a massive way. Some speculate that she might cost Liv Morgan her championship at SummerSlam, setting up a long-awaited revenge feud, while others think she could turn babyface and feud with a returning heel, Becky Lynch. Regardless of what happens next, one thing is clear: Rhea Ripley isn't just going to fade into the background. Her message, her timing, and her confidence all point to a superstar who knows exactly what she brings to the table. And she's not afraid to make that known to Triple H or anyone else. If WWE doesn't capitalize on the momentum Ripley already has built, they risk losing one of their most organically over stars in recent memory. Fans have long praised Ripley's authenticity, her unique character blend of menace and magnetism, and her unwavering dedication to the brand. She's been a workhorse for WWE, juggling media, travel, Judgment Day responsibilities, and championship defenses with fierce intensity. The expectation is that WWE repays that effort with creative direction worthy of her presence. The question now is whether Triple H will acknowledge the message. Historically, Triple H has been open to letting bleed into reality and vice versa, especially when real fan feedback influences creative shifts. We've seen this with LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, and even Sami Zayn. If Ripley's message strikes a chord and the fan response keeps mounting, we could see a scenario where her comeback becomes one of the top stories of the year. Another angle fans are speculating about involves Judgment Day itself. Without Ripley, the faction has shown signs of crumbling. Damian Priest's tension with Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio's struggles without Mommy, and J.D. McDonough's uncertain role have all raised questions about whether Ripley was the glue holding it all together. His dramatic return could see Ripley reclaiming her spot as the true leader or possibly abandoning the group altogether in favor of a solo run. Some even imagine a wild scenario where Ripley returns with a new faction of her own, perhaps involving Zoe Stark or a surprise NXT call-up to challenge Judgment Day's new dynamic and shake things up entirely. Meanwhile, Liv Morgan has remained quiet about Ripley's message, but did like a fan tweet suggesting that Ripley is watching from the shadows and planning her moment. It's a small interaction, but one that adds fuel to the fire of a future confrontation. The Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley feud is far from over, and most fans agree it deserves to culminate on a big stage, possibly WrestleMania or Survivor Series, with both women at the peak of their momentum. As we inch closer to SummerSlam, all eyes will be on WWE's next move. Will Triple H address the booking concerns directly through commentary or backstage segments? Will Rhea Ripley appear via satellite or make a surprise return live? Or will WWE continue to let the tension build until fans are practically demanding her return? Whatever happens, Ripley has made it clear. She sees everything. She knows her worth, and she's not afraid to remind the world that she's still the Eradicator. Even when she's not in the ring, the message was simple. The delivery was subtle, but the impact was seismic. Rhea Ripley has spoken, and now the WWE Universe is listening. All that remains is to see whether Triple H does the same, or risks losing control of one of WWE's most unstoppable forces. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.